AM1 and CAM1, and I am back in the car again. I am driving through beautiful New Hampshire. I am expecting it to be a beautiful day today. It's a little chilly right now, but it should be up in the mid-70s. And I've got the dog in the car with me. I'm going to meet up with my buddy Chris Franchi, and we're going to play a very special course for you today. The tour de course for today is Top of the Hill, Topo Disc Golf. It is a beautiful course with a large number of features that I really is impressive for a small privately owned course. It's pay to play, $5 for a round or $8 for the day, but it has on the premises a pro shop with thousands of discs, good selection of equipment and plastic for you. It has, I mean, we can't compare it to Marshall Street, but not much can. It has a porta-john. It has multiple layouts on the course. There's no place to throw long bombs from, for warm-up purposes, but they have set up a net that you can throw into to kind of get your shoulder loose and get your elbow going. And there's also a small putting green that you can warm up on. So it's got everything that you need right there on the course. This may be the first 5 out of 5 I have given for on the birdie scale as far as courses that I have reviewed. As far as its playability concerns, well, just stick with the episode and you'll see. This course makes you throw all the different throws. The guy has done a wonderful job of carving out some fairways in unique places and spaces. I really think you're going to enjoy this episode. I'm truly looking forward to playing this course again. This has become one of my favorite courses up in this area. I've only played it once before when I was up here on vacation about a month ago when I played Franklin Falls Dam. But it was the one that we played in the morning before playing Franklin Falls, and everyone on the card agreed that it was probably the best course that we played the entire weekend. This course is super clean. It is a mature course built in 2011. It has nice fairways. You can play from the rough. The greens are challenging, but they're not crazy technical. There's very little holes, or very few holes where it's so technical it's like a poke and pray scenario. Hole 1 from the blues. It's pretty short, less than 200 feet. The whole hole is built on the slope of a hill, however, which rolls away. So there is a significant risk of having your disc roll down the hill and going OB. It's kind of a tight fairway, but it's pretty just short technical hole.
It's all about that placement.
Yep. Let's see how this round's gonna go. Almost no warm up.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you'll be okay. Yeah.
Oh, no,
Yeah. Almost. Right idea.
Close doesn't count. Oh yeah, I think that's gonna play. Oh, I don't like having the stump right there.
That works.
There we go. Oh, good bid. Here we have one of the nice features on the course. The circle is marked with these little, I don't know what they are, they're just little plastic grass looking things.
Try and make this without disturbing that little caterpillar there.
I didn't even notice it until I looked up to make the putt. Okay, hole 2, this is a fun one. I like the way this is designed. You start off with a shot going straight uphill, but then it levels out and goes for quite a distance, probably 150 feet or more. And then the basket is tucked in on the right.
That'll work.
Yeah, that's short, but it'll play.
That's up on the right.
That's a good drive, though. I think that's safe. I think I have to throw the flick, because if I try and ante this and it cut rolls, I'll be in big trouble.
Yep, there is that possibility. Plus, you got kind of a little lowish ceiling for that shot to get it all the way around.
True. True statement. Sucker, come on, get out of here. Oh, I went straight at it, but I got through.
Hole 3, 485 feet. It's a nice long bomb, but there's just enough trees on the side and in the middle to make things interesting for you. Still quite a bit of fairway. It's not like playing Daisy Field or anything like that. There's a solid fairway. You could drive a straight truck up and down this one, no problem. So it's a very fair hole.
I didn't see it come down.
It just came down. Good. No. Oh no.
Oh shit, that hurt.
You know, it doesn't look that bad through the camera lens, but then you stand up through the disc and you're like, wait a minute. This might take some work.
Yeah, especially if you have to throw backhand here.
Straight. Oh. Not a good toss.
If you liked hole 3, then you're going to love hole 4. They're very similar. This one's 435 feet, 438 rather, so very similar length. Instead of being on a slope that goes, rolls left to right, this one goes gently uphill the entire way. It's a wide fairway. It's kind of a tunnel shot, but the trees that are on the side, you can work around those, get your way up to the basket. I can see this one getting threed quite a bit. Oh no. Grip lock. That's more like it.
Oh no, that's not nearly high enough, Kyle.
Wow, I just shanked 2 shots in a row.
Oh, fade.
Oh, good kick.
I didn't think that shot reached the circle.
I knew it did. I had faith.
That makes one of us. Where'd the hound go? There
He's
he is.
right there.
Nope. Right by it.
Shit.
Oh no.
I can't believe I just did that.
Oh no. Ugh, neither one of us wants to accept this one. Here we go.
Yeah.
Well, that was just some bad golf. Bad drive, bad scramble, bad putt.
Oh, too high. Not far enough either.
Yeah, far enough. It's too high.
That's a sweetheart. Get up there. Very nice.
Get in.
Oh,
I threw him
distance-wise, you can certainly get there with a mid, given that it's downhill.
Yep. You just wanted a little more fade.
I wanted the fade to get around the corner, but the last thing I wanted to do was to put it up that high. But I also think I didn't put enough power on it. So this hole is a bit of a poke and pray. It's not terrible. The lane is wide enough, but you have to shoot. The basket is way down there in between those trees in the distance in the shade. And you're teeing off from back here. You have to get around those trees and glide into it, but there's another tree that's kind of hidden by the big one, the big dark pine that's in the middle, right behind it. So tricky shot. Oh, that's actually a good stop.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe not. Close.
I don't know which tree I hit, but I certainly got lucky that it stopped.
Close shot right here.
That one right here?
Close.
Yeah, because that would have kept rolling. I don't know how far into the woods. Hole 7. This is where I think the course gets really interesting. I mean, we've got some pretty holes, but they've been pretty standard fare up until this point. This one is where things truly get a little quirky. You have got an S-shaped line going out there, 449, and it is slightly uphill as it goes. And in fact, I think it actually gets steeper as you go further up. There is a Mando on the course. It is straight ahead from the tee, forcing you to go left. You cannot go through a break in the trees because you'd be on the fairway for a hole that we played, I think it's hole 5, 2 holes back.
Is that Comet?
Ooh. Ooh.
Because it's a
That was the Bard again.
Bard.
And once again, I think I threw it too high. It turned a lot tighter than I thought it would. I think I want to go with something straighter than that from now on. Or not put it up so high. Yeah, I think that's a better position.
Take that.
Even though I kind of want to be around the corner in order to make the S shape of the fairway, you're going to have a tough time with that, but I'm in trees because I went so far left.
Yep.
Nope. Right into it. Perfect. Snuggle up, baby.
Yeah, like that.
That was a great throw. So one of the things that I like about this course is it plays like a mature course in that if you get out into the rough, you can still advance your disc. You might not have a great shot, but you can do it. I have found one of those few places where it's really tight and gonna be hard to do.
That's good out in the circle.
Yeah, circle's edge.
Nope. Back.
Bogey.
5. Screwed up somewhere.
Hole 8. This one is just a right-hand bank all the way through, all the way up the fairway, 420 feet or so. Very tight. This one is a narrow line, and it kind of gets a little bottleneck toward the middle of things. The green is on a slight slope, nothing too bad, nothing you really have to worry about. Holy! I mean, I've only played this course once before, but that is the best throw I've seen so far.
There you go.
That was perfect.
Did something right.
That was perfect. Nope, didn't make it. Hit early too. Well, that's not a bad toss to get me in position, but I'm looking at a 4, not a 3.
Get down. Right over the basket.
There we go. Okay, hole 9, we got significant elevation going uphill. Not crazy steep like you'd see at the 501, but enough that you have to, definitely reach down for your drive and pull it up there. At 220, it's not a very long hole, but there's a number of trees clustered up right around the basket, and a couple off the tee here you might accidentally clip. Forces you to shape your shot, but as a lefty, a righty, forehand, backhand, there's a lot of different lines you can take to get to the basket.
Whoa, where are you going?
Well,
Lost my way there.
oh, it's turning too soon. I wanted to go around the back side of that tree. Very nice. Oh, I babied it at the last second.
Not a good putt.
That's a good save. Halfway through, and things are looking kind of rough for me. I think I'm +2, 3 bogeys, 1 birdie. I got to straighten out my drives, otherwise this is going to be a long round. As far as hole 10 is concerned, another simple, straightforward shot. We're going out level terrain for a change. There's no elevation change here, and we're just going to pump one out. Definitely favors the right-hander. Go right out, straight ahead, and bend it off to the left-hand side. Natural fade for the disc. There's not a whole lot of trees around the basket. Not an especially tight fairway once you get past these couple of guardian trees right in front of us.
Uh-oh, that's high.
Center fairway.
Long way there.
My Bard has been letting me down. I gotta give it one more chance here.
There he is.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's fine.
you can't blame the disc for that.
Yeah.
It just did exactly what you
I was
told
hoping
it to
for a
do.
nice big flare skip, and I don't know if I hit the base of a tree or a root or something. Oh! There we go. I'll take that for you.
Oh, thanks.
Down the path that way. Up until now, we've played a number of short holes, but they've all been decent ones. They're all good playable holes, even though they're short. They've got some technical shots to them. They've got multiple lanes. They got some, quirkiness to them, whether it was an elevation change or a weird patch of trees around the basket, something to make it a challenge. This is probably the first hole that we get to that's short and reeks a little bit of the fromage. We are going straight down a little bit of a hill. The distance is 211, and I think that might be generous. It is a putter shot, and you just have to go straight ahead. There are 2 trees, 2 guardian trees that are set with mandos pointing inwards. You have to make that straightforward line.
And it's just a matter of how many trees can you dodge to get onto the green and park it for the 2. Oh, that never came back at all. There we go. That's a better throw. Ah. Okay, we're out in the open again. We're on an easement area underneath some power lines. We're just going straight uphill here. There's a significant elevation on this hole, about 300 feet, but there's not much going on. There's not a lot of trees. You just got that one pole for the power lines in their way. Right around the basket, there is a low rock wall, so you can't skip up onto the green, but other than that, the wall doesn't come into play too much. I guess it would come into play if you actually could throw 300 feet straight in line up the hill there.
Well, it's more like it's a pretty good slope. That probably plays more like.
If you got a bigger arm than I do, I bet that does come into play.
That was a good pull.
Yeah, it's short left. Wow.
Nice. Very nice. I like the way you shaped that.
Oh my God, I shorted that. There we go. Hole 13. This one requires a little bit of a leap of faith. Look out across the field. You see some trees. There's a spot where you think there might be a gap. That's what you're shooting for. There's no way you can see the basket from here. Frankly, you're throwing at a green that is completely surrounded by trees. There's no fairway leading up to it. You just have to hope that you're, as a right-hand backhander, hope that you get out straight across and then your disc fades and maybe gets through those trees and sticks to the green. It's also a steep downward slope, so if you go too hard on this one, you could skip off into oblivion. Yeah. Already about 10 feet to the right of where I was.
Okay. Yeah, right at that
Yeah.
gap. Yeah. Come on back.
Well,
did kind of cut back in at the end there. I got a little lucky.
yeah.
I got through. It could have been very dense.
Yes.
Oh shit.
No, I think that's fine.
That skipped up in.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh, good tree. Good tree. Nice.
right. Hit chains.
Yeah, we got chins. Hole 14. It's only 300 feet, but you're playing straight uphill. You got to turn the disc, depending on whether you're a lefty or a righty, and then hook back at the end of it to get out into the open. The basket is a good, I don't know, probably 100, 150 feet out into the wide open space out there. There's a couple of trees you have to play around, but nothing too bad. You know, you should be able to shape your shots to get about them. Oh, it's not turning enough. Oh.
Not at all.
Yeah. You really have to get on it to turn it.
No, it just.
All right, so I'm in a very tricky spot here.
These are the trees that I mentioned when I was down on the tee pad. They're low, little saplings mostly. The basket is to the left of those. And the trouble with the spot that I'm in right now is that I've got a dying branch that's dipping down right in front of me, kind of blocking off this lane straight ahead. I'm going to have to throw around that somehow. I got to do it while I'm standing in a phone booth. Well, not what I was looking for, but I'm out. Looking good.
I kind of like the.
Hole 15, we're out in the open again, and we are tossing parallel to those telephone poles that we saw earlier. Because what we're doing is we're heading up the fairway and then to the left. This is another right-hand friendly hole. You're gonna go to the left into the trees, about 250 feet up there. The basket is 317 in the woods, so wide open fairway shot, tight green. Not too, oh no.
Is it rolling?
It rolled back away. You hit the bottom of a tree and it rolled back out to there's a little bush on the edge of the.
Oh well. Great pull. Now get strong. Nice throw.
Oh, too deep.
No. Not that bad.
I was hoping I might have a putt, but I turned that disc up just enough that I landed way too deep. It didn't fade in the way I wanted it to. Get me up there.
That's my excuse today.
Hole 16 may be my favorite hole on the course. This is just an oddly shaped hole. It's kind of like it's sort of an S shape. Like the first part of it is pretty straightforward though, so maybe it's more like a reverse question mark. It is a great hole because the fairway starts off with a long bomb, fade off to the left-hand side, but then you got to hook all the way back and it just keeps on hooking all the way around on a relatively like a road-wide fairway that goes all around the corner up to the green. It's a really nice hole. The sides of the fairway are fair. You can play from the rough here, but it's still very tricky. Yeah, nice pull.
Come back.
Fade. Ooh.
Tucked in on that right.
Yeah.
Little tail.
That's about almost exactly where I was last time I played this hole.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it might be fading too much. Yeah, we'll see.
What's that? Destroyer?
Yeah, that was the destroyer. Yes. Should be on the
corner.
Yep, exactly. Far side of the fairway.
Yep.
Stable up.
Yep.
Okay. If it comes out of my hand properly,
It's always
should be able to do this.
always the test.
And it didn't.
Little
push.
ah.
Four? Yep.
Pretty straightforward, no frills.
So here I am about 60 feet out from the pin, just outside the circle, but right under the tree you can see those little white brushes poking up under the ground, defining the circle, and then you have that big pine Just being a big old guardian, keeping you away from the green, being able to run a putt from a distance. Just get up there. Ah.
This is another.
Hole 18 is another that might give me a run for my money as far as my favorite hole on this course. It is 500 feet. It is a split fairway. It's fair to the lefties, fair to the righties. There is a downhill slope that leads to the basket, which is right by the pro shop. This is just a really nice hole. It's got everything you could expect from a good hole. It's got good distance. It's got an approachable basket. It's got enough trees in the fairway that you have to shape your shots. You can't just grip and rip and go for it with no thought whatsoever. But it still plays like a longer hole. So, great design on this last hole. Oh, I turned it too much.
Were you going up that left side?
I was trying to go up the left side. I turned it way over. That's got you going. You know what? I haven't thrown that line yet.
I like that line.
Oh. Oh, it drops big time. Ah, rough.
Stone.
Oh, it was looking so good. Bogey. The last hole. Favorite hole of the course, and I screwed it up. Okay, final thoughts for top of the hill. I think I said it all in the intro. This course has got everything. It's a little bit of short hole work, a little bit of long bomber throws. It's got some nice technical holes. It's got some wide open things where you can just let your arm go wild. I finished 64, I believe, is my tentative score at the moment. Par is 65. I think that's a little soft. I think this should probably be a par 63. I'd have to go through and look, to see exactly which holes are the ones that I think are specifically soft. But what do you think, Chris? First thoughts on this?
I love the course.
You love it?
Yeah, love it. It's a good, fair test. It's
Yeah.
got some technical throws. It's got some wide open throws, but there's nothing out there where you look at it and you say, okay, what am I supposed to do?
The only hole that I would say is somewhat cheesy is that short downhill one, somewhere around hole 11, I think it is. That's the only place where I could say, we're being a little cheesy here. This is miniature golf, not real golf. But that's just my opinion.
I was able to take a run at the basket, so I love that hole.
Yeah. I suppose that's true. Anytime you can get a run at the basket is a good thing. But I like this course. It's got a lot going for it outside of just, it's a perfectly legit disc golf course in its own way. But it's also, it's a really pretty setting. I didn't find myself overheating. You're out in the sun for a couple of holes, but it's not like you're being, you're out in a scorching desert for a while.
Well, we happen to be here on one of the nicest days we've had all summer.
This is very true. It's 70 degrees out and the sun is shining. It's not incredibly hot today.
Yeah.
One thing I will say as a cautionary note, definitely bring some bug spray or something. I think Chris brought cigars with him. Same thing, something to keep the mosquitoes off of you as you're playing through some of the wooded holes.
Yep, it's not bad though.
No,
It's pretty established. It's a good mature course.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of room off the fairways to find your disc quickly.
Yes,
which is really nice for me.
We never had problem finding any of the discs today.
We never hunted.
We never hunted. No,
Yeah.
no, not at all.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That's a good point.
Yeah, you might lose on average maybe half a shot off the tee if you're errant.
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
2 shots, you know.
Yes.
Which is nice.
Yep. Unless you hit first available, in which case you deserve it.
I resent that comment. Edit that out. Yeah.
Edit that out. All right.
But good course.
That's all she wrote for this one. I really like this course. I give it probably a 4 out of 5 as far as playability and 5 out of 5 on the birdie scale. It's got all the features you could want, including a pro shop with hundreds, thousands of discs in it as well. So that's what we got for today. Stay frothy, my friends.